Hey, welcome to the station where we talk trains, truth, and life. Standing beside this bright red Canadian National Caboose, and right next to it, a building that tells just as much of a story, the Forest Station, now the Forest Public Library. Together, they give us a window into the railway past of this town. Forest was served by the historic Grand Trunk Railway, one of the most influential railway systems in Canadian history. Founded in the 19th century, the Grand Trunk connected towns across Ontario and Quebec, and eventually became part of the Canadian National Railway system. Rail service meant local farmers could ship grain and livestock further than they ever had before. Businesses could receive supplies quickly, and families could travel in ways previous generations never even imagined. Before modern technology, every freight train needed a caboose at the very end. The caboose served several important functions. Number one, observation. Crew members watched the train for shifting loads or overheated wheel bearings or mechanical problems. Office space. Number two, conductors completed paperwork and managed train operations from inside. Number three, living quarters. On long journeys, the caboose was a place to rest, cook simple meals, and stay warm. And finally, safety role. In emergencies, crew members could quickly respond from their position at the back of the train. With its raised cupola, the little windowed section on top, railway workers had a clear view down the length of the train. By the late 20th century, cabooses were gradually phased out. New technologies made them unnecessary. There's electronic sensors that began to detect equipment problems automatically. Radio communication improved, coordinating between crew members. And modern freight cars and braking systems, they just increased overall safety. So today, most freight trains operate without a caboose, making preserved examples like this one even more meaningful reminders of railway heritage. This particular caboose now stands proudly in front of the Forest Library as a symbol of local history and community pride. Residents often share memories of hearing train whistles echo across the fields or watching long freight trains roll through town crossings. For many families, the railway wasn't just transportation, it was a part of everyday life. Canadian National Railway, CN, operated thousands of cabooses across Canada. Originally, many were converted from older boxcars, some dating back to the early 1900s. Over time, they evolved, gaining cupolas, better visibility, and eventually that iconic bright red paint we recognize today. For decades, these cabooses rolled across Ontario, carrying crews, stories, and history along the rails. Now restored and displayed, the caboose has become a landmark for visitors, a learning opportunity for children and others, a visual connection between past and present. It reminds us how transportation shaped the identity and the growth of small towns like Forest. And that brings us here, Forest, Ontario. Like many small railway towns, Forest was shaped by the railroad, especially by the Grand Trunk Railway, which later became part of CN. When cabooses were retired in the late 20th century, many were scrapped, but some, like this one, were saved. Instead of disappearing, this caboose was preserved and placed here as a reminder of the town's railway heritage. A piece of history that once moved, now standing still. While specific records of this exact caboose may be limited, its story reflects thousands just like it, cars that traveled the country before finding a home in communities like Forest. The story here in Forest starts even earlier than the red caboose, with the station itself. The Grand Trunk Railway arrived in Forest in 1860, bringing growth and connection to the community. The original station was built that same year, and after it was destroyed by a fire, a second station was built in 1901. Passenger service eventually ended in 1956, but the town didn't forget. In 1985, the community built a replica of the original station using historic plans, and today that building serves as the Forest Public Library. So the next time you're in Forest, don't just see a caboose in a station. See the end of a train. See the life that once filled it. And see a town that chose to remember. Hey, thanks for joining me. And we'll see you next time right here at the station.